Welcome to another yin class. So we'll get started straight away. Just making sure that you have props. If you don't have the props, that's okay. We'll just do without it. It's just that if you have tight low back, hamstrings, that might come handy. If you don't have, I don't even have a bolster actually myself. I just use other things normally, and they're pretty dear. So if you have maybe an old mat, if you roll it up quite tight, that's holding quite sturdy. It's quite good to replace a bolster. So you can use it to sit, elevate your hips, or under the knees is a good use. You might want to have a block. That's handy. They're not the best because, it's plastic. You can buy the cork ones, more expensive, but make sure you have cushions especially if you don't have a mat, maybe at least one if you need to elevate your hips, or maybe for your knees, if you're really tight, just make sure you grab quite a few cushions, and we'll get started straight away. So just coming into a sit, so we'll work on, again, liver, gallbladder, and kidney, urinary bladder, just so that we work the energies. So these are the quite important meridians. They're all important, but very important to work the energy. So we'll start in a bit of a different way from usual, a bit of an uncommon one here. So again, if you have lower back that is a little bit tight, you can elevate your hips slightly on a cushion. If you have also your hamstrings that are a little bit tight, you might want to be using a cushion under your left leg. So what we're going to do today is crossing the right leg over the left. So if you have knee issues, if it's a bit too much for a sort of hyperextension in the right knee, if that's too much, you just keep your legs together. In which case, I suppose you might want to have some support under your knees, and you can fall forward to your own ability. So just choose whatever works for you. That's where probably a block can come handy for maybe your head. So you might just want to have that on your left leg, left knee, not the right, so that you don't push for an extra hyperextension. And just relax there, folding forward. So we'll just stay there for a few minutes. So that might be a little bit strong into the back of the leg. So as usual, in yin, just go easy. We've got some time, so just working with your breath. Every exhale, you can start to go a little bit further. So you can start, even if you're just on your hands here, that's fine. That might be just enough into especially the back of the right leg. If you feel, you can start to fold forward a little bit more each exhale as you start to relax. You can even close your eyes. Any forward fold is pretty good to start to turn within, to relax. So this is a very relaxing practice. So forward folds really help with that. So again, closing the eyes, just feeling into particularly the back of the right leg, your lower back. So we're really working here on the urinary bladder, which pairs with the kidney, very important for the movement of energy, kidney energy. And you just linger here for a moment. Trying to keep the abdomen, diaphragm quite relaxed as much as possible so that you don't constrict the breath. Not much to do here, just to relax so that you can really listen and feel the stretch in the body. And then very slowly on your next inhale, you can start to come up, rolling your spine up vertebrae by vertebrae very slowly so that you don't jar the lower back, releasing any block that you might have. And you can come onto your hands just so that you get some good support, maybe bringing your hands even behind you so that you gently release, bending into your right knee, and we'll move straight away into half butterfly. So again, if you're a bit tight, you might be using a cushion under your hips, bringing your right foot on the inside of the left leg. So you try to keep your body squared right over your left leg as much as possible, trying to relax that right knee down. And again, if this is a little bit too much for your knee or your groin, you can bring a cushion right under just to give some support so that you don't open out too much. Again, making sure you modify according to your own ability, and just want to let the body or the torso round. Again, we're working on the urinary bladder here, and you've got different options here. You can use a block, or maybe you can use your fists, or some people bring their arms or elbows so that they can rest in whichever way they can. If you can reach all the way down to the mat, that's another option, or the block can go different ways, but you want to try to stay on your leg as much as possible, letting that right leg open out. So if you open out and start to feel more into the groin, that's when you start to really work on the kidney line. And again, you just allow the body to soften, working one breath at a time. Trying to let the breath being deep. Noticing the stretch into the backside, alongside the spine. So this is where the urinary bladder lines run. So this pair of urinary bladder and kidneys really work on the energy, the ki that is stored, what we call the jing, in the kidneys. So really good for anything that has to do with body fluids, the movement of these fluids in the body. So particularly important at this time as we start to come in. So we moving from the full moon to the new moon. The body is more in an elimination process, and there's more detoxification happening at full moon and new moon. So we're coming to new moon now in 2 days. So it might already have started. It's really good to work on the kidney, which is one of the filters with the liver filters of the body. So coming at a pretty important time, moon time, in terms of detoxification, kidney, liver. And very slowly you can start to come up as you inhale again, rolling your spine up vertebrae by vertebrae. You might help your knee to come back with your hand, nice and slow. Leaning back on your hands, bending into your left knee. Just giving a little bit of a release, maybe knocking your knees together. Feet out wide. Maybe puffing your chest out, a little release. If you feel like maybe even more, if you don't have any wrist issues, you might even take a little bit of a stronger counter pose with a tabletop. Maybe even dropping your head back. And then slowly releasing, using any props that you may need. We'll take the other side, so you can extend your right leg and cross your left leg over. Again, just adjust according to your body, paying attention to maybe any knee injuries. So sometimes you might have one knee that got a bit of an injury. Might even be a long time ago that you don't remember. That might remind you of it. One of the great advantage of the yin practice is that hopefully you're not going too deep into it. You keep it nice and manageable. But as we start turning inwards, again, maybe closing the eyes, folding forward, you start to really listen more to the sensations in the body. So you might start to feel any sensations, pain, recent or a bit older, that might be coming up. Maybe even reminding you of some old injuries that maybe you thought was fine. Hopefully it's just a little reminder, not another injury. So for that you want to make sure that you go into the pose very slowly. Every exhale, maybe you can reach a further edge. So you don't want to go all the way down right away. Using any props you need to, and of course anytime you feel too much pain, especially if it's a sharp pain, means you've gone a bit too far, so you want to just back off 10-20%, whatever is needed. Maybe one side will need props, even if you didn't on the other side. Just really listening to the body, being humble. Just really using the breath to listen and guide you through the practice. Nice and slow. On your next inhale, you can start to come up, putting your block aside, bending into your right knee as you lean back, and coming straight away into your half butterfly. So the closer you bring your heel to your groin, the stronger the pose will be. Again, make sure that you use a cushion if you need to. And then just nice and easy, you start folding over your leg. So you can keep your arms either side of your leg, just letting the spine round. Just notice the pull in the lower back, middle back. Again, especially if you have neck issues, you want to find some sort of support wherever that might be for you. Maybe the floor. Again, you'll notice one side is probably a little bit tighter than the other. You can close your eyes and meditate on sensations, feelings in the body. You just linger here. For a few minutes, just enjoying your very own company and the company of your own breath, which actually has much to tell. Slowly inhaling, coming up, again helping your knee to come back, and you can lean back, feet mat distance apart, maybe taking a little windshield wiper one side, the other side, releasing into the hips, lower back, and then crossing your legs if you don't have any knee issues. Just to come forward, we'll do a quick back bend, camel pose, Ustrasana. If you have sensitive knees, you can just fold your mat, double, triple, or maybe even use that rolled up mat or any cushions just under your knees or shins, if that's more comfortable for you. And we'll just come here on the knees, and you can bring your hands on your sacrum with your fingers pointing down, and you try to keep your hips right above your knees, and we're going to Just very gently start to lean back, so you want to feel the opening into the chest, so drawing your elbows, shoulders towards each other. Just a very quick one here, not too long, just to get a bit of compression into the kidneys, stretching the front of the body, working the spine in a different way. After all the forward folds, it's good to get some extension into the spine. If you don't have any neck issues, you can just let your head drop back and focus on the stretch into the whole front of the body. So this works a bit more on the stomach, spleen line, maybe even heart, lung, intestine. Definitely working on the thyroid gland, very good for the metabolism, immune system. Just there for a few more breaths. Anytime you feel this is too much, you can release. Otherwise, a couple more breaths. And very slowly, as you inhale, you come up. See if you can use your core muscles to come up. And then you can just take a quick child's pose as a counter pose, bringing your chest to your thighs, forehead to the floor, maybe arms alongside your body. Just breathing into your kidneys, lower back, relaxing the shoulders, relaxing your kidneys, maybe gentle sway from one side to the other. Slowly inhaling, coming up, and we'll just finish pretty quickly with a twist. So you can extend your legs, crossing your right leg over, and we'll just take an easy twist. So try to keep flexing your left toes, so you're still working onto the urinary bladder into the back of your leg. Easy twist. First version is to just wrap your elbow around your knee. Again, if you need to sit, elevate your hips, you can. Otherwise, this is not too bad, or hopefully should be. And you bring your right hand right behind you, and you twist from your lower ribs. If you can go a little bit further, you can bring your elbow on the outside of your knee, maybe relaxing your hand, and just take a few breaths here. See if you can keep your body nice and upright as you inhale, and as you exhale, you let the body soften so that you go a little bit deeper into your twist. Again, flex your toes, so we're working a little bit more on the gallbladder line here. Liver, so really working on the organs as we twist. Still working on the urinary bladder line, so we're working on quite a few things here. Very healthy for the spine, the nervous system, as we twist. We'll take a few more breaths. This is only a short practice. So see if you can let the diaphragm be quite free and work its way up and down to help massage the abdominal organs. This is what moves the energy, particularly in the liver and gallbladder. Taking one more deep breath. And on the next inhale, very slowly, you can come back. Unwinding from the pose. You can stretch your leg out. And maybe you can give it a bit of a shake if that feels good. Oh, yes. Good release before we take the other side. Crossing your left foot over. Again, you want to keep your spine nice and upright, so don't hesitate to use a cushion. And as you exhale, you take your level 1, wrapping your arm around your knee, or maybe level 2, hooking your elbow across. Your hand can go fingertips or hand flat right behind you, just to help you keep your spine upright as much as possible. The more you're going to flex your right toe, the more you should be feeling into the right calf, hamstring, glute. So still working on that urinary bladder line. Again, you want to lengthen the spine as you inhale, and as you exhale, you twist. So again, this is just a pretty quick, short class. Yin 30, only half an hour, just a few poses. But if you're interested in more, I'll be doing a longer version, working on the same lines with the same principle, just for the new moon, or just after, actually. I will do this class Thursday for those who are interested and can join at 11 a.m. Otherwise, there will be video also on this. So really helping to activate these energies in the kidney, liver. So the energy of the liver is very important. We call the liver like the general, one of the most important glands, especially in regards to muscle cramping or stiffness, also related to the eyes. So again, there's a longer version coming up. If you like that sort of working, or you feel this is something that you might need. We'll take one more deep breath before we relax into savāsana. Inhaling, slowly coming back to center. You can unwind. You might keep your eyes closed. And then very slowly, maybe still shaking your legs if you feel you need to, you can slowly come onto your back, savāsana. You might maybe use cushions under your knees if you feel you need to relax the lower back a bit more, covering yourself if it's a little bit cold. As usual, if you're at home and you want to take a longer relaxation, you can switch the video and come into your savāsana, relaxing for as long as you need, 5, 10, even maybe 15 minutes, or maybe wait until we do the yoga nidra, or even join us for the yoga nidra either on that next class or with a pre-recorded video. Your choice. That's a very good practice after the yin, when we start activating some energy in the body, a little bit of movement, and then after that, the yoga nidra in savāsana